Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Raw Recap. It's the Drip King, brought to you by Wrestle Buddy. We're here to talk about another great show. Questionable ending to this tag team tournament for the women's division, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Rest of the show, though, I loved it. I loved every second of it, and we're gonna jump right into it. Hey, Paul steps up to the strike one. I'm not even calling it a strike one. We don't know why this. I think the Dakota. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Just saw the ending. Okay. So you got to watch it live tonight. That's a good deal. Good deal. Tyler, what up? What up? Thank you for joining us tonight, Tyler. Thank you very much. Tonight's show minus a sat had a very nice feel to it for the first. We'll get to it. That's what I'll say to that. On to the show. We start off match, no segment. I think this is the first time we've got this in a minute. I can't remember. Looking good tonight, babe, as always. And babe, you're looking good as always too. So thank you very much. Thank you. So we get Dolph Ziggler and AJ taking on Judgment Day, and I saw some people like, "Yo, why is this happening?" Well, AJ and Dolph tag teamed a few weeks ago, and now they're tag teamed again because Dolph had issues with Judgment Day. So that's why it's happening. If you need me to walk you through these things, just hit me up. I'll let you know why they're happening because it does make enough sense for the match to happen. Not a terrible match. I did notice some weird actions by AJ in this match. Maybe I'm looking too much into it. I'm gonna say what they are. Maybe someone else caught them. Maybe they didn't, and maybe I'm just looking too much into things. But there's a part where AJ was getting thrown into the ropes while Finn was on the apron, and AJ stopped himself from hitting him. Not sure why he would stop himself from hitting Finn, and then he kind of like gave it a weird look. Finn wasn't even aware of it, but then he got pushed into Finn anyway. Finn fell over. AJ retaliated. Then, yep, right here, he's seen it too. He's seen it too. AJ hesitated hitting Finn. Then afterwards, he hits Priest. Then he looks down over the rope at a fallen Finn and kind of looks like he's confused, maybe worried. The Bullet Club stuff, it's there. I don't know if I'm looking too much into it, though. We'll see. I know the Good Brothers are about to be free agents. That I don't want them in WWE, but I think that was interesting enough for me to speak on it. And here we go. David, he noticed it too. So I'm not alone here. At least one other person saw it with me. So I'm not crazy and I'm not looking too much into things. They just leave Ziggler Theory. Nope. I think that was a Vince project. And then Triple H wrapped it up. We got a main event from it 2 weeks ago, in which Theory beat Ziggler right in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3. That was the end of it. I think Triple H just wrapped it up, and that was the end of it. We're not going to get no more of that. Not a bad thing because now Theory has something better on his horizon, in my opinion, and we'll get to that a little later too. First thing I thought was the Bullet Club collection. Okay, yeah. So match continues on, and then Priest ends up getting the pin over Dolph Ziggler. So Judgment Day got a much needed win here, especially Priest. Priest hasn't. Man, that first year he was on the roster, he almost went the entire year without losing, and now he's like the fodder for Judgment Day. He got the win here tonight, though, so good on him. As they're leaving, Edge shows up in the parking lot. He starts walking out, so they decide, we're going back to the ring. We're going to call him out. Commercial, come back. Rhea says, Edge, get out here. Finn says, yeah, get out here. We want our AEW special. I'm a legend. I should get one. I beat Ray. Ray gets one. It's not fair. Damien says, calm down, man. I get your point, but we need to keep our composure. Edge, get out here. You got lucky last week. I'm a man of my word. But this is in Toronto, and he wants him out there. Edge comes out. He runs him down. He tries to get edgy and stuff with his little lines. I thought they were kind of corny. That's me. But then he says, I'm not alone. In comes Ray and Dom with kendo sticks, and they start taking out Finn and Priest. Rhea runs out of the ring. As all hell's breaking loose, you get Dom left in the ring by his lonesome, and he's got the kendo stick. And then Rhea, she gets in, and she's just kind of playing around with him, and then she ends up talking Dom out of the kendo stick, and she gets the kendo stick. And then Ray and Edge get in there like, what do you do? And what's going on here? This is crazy. And then Finn and Priest pull Rhea out, and then they leave. Dom is fascinated, obviously. He's like, I'll do whatever Rhea said. I don't know. He's I don't know why he would do what he did, but he did it, and that's the story. We're going with it. Let's see here. First thing Judgment Day, Edge, Dom and Dad, the pairing that won't die. It's dead after Clash. I promise you that. It's over with. Especially, well, maybe it'll last a little longer because we'll get to that part a little bit later. And yes, great mullet by Tom. You can't tell me he's not Eddie's dad at this point. I think there was some swinging going on back in the day. They were switching. Hate me if you want for saying it, but it definitely. I'm definitely convinced that is Eddie's son, 100%. The mullet says it all. Rhea needs an injury bench with. I was hoping we were gonna go Edge, Dom, and Ray versus Judgment Day, and then Rhea was gonna get a pin. I've been pushing for it for months. I was hoping we were gonna get it. Doesn't look like it's gonna happen, but it is what it is. As my girl says, yeah, we got the mullet. No, the little Drip Prince has got a much better mullet than Eddie's son. So that was that segment. Nice way to start it. It's good. It was a nice way to start it. I really do hope at Clash, though, we kind of see the end of it because it has been going on for a long time. The last month, obviously, a lot better than what it was previously. But, yeah, it's run its course. Let's move on to some other things. Edge, I don't know. Edge is kind of like in the Miz territory with me where it's like 1 week I'm like, I'm all for him. And then the next week I'm kind of like, yeah, he kind of boring me. But just let's move on past this and let's see what they can do afterwards. And hopefully they go off into better directions, both of them. From there, we go to the backstage, and Miz and Ciampa, they're showing up backstage, and they walk past security. And I didn't catch this. I didn't catch it at first. I saw pictures of it later, and I was like, how did I freaking miss this? But as he's walking past a security guard, it's Dexter. And then they cut away from the security so you can't see him. And then Miz is like, wait. And he runs back to look at the security, and it's not a security. It's not Dexter anymore. It's security. Ciampa's like, what's going on? Then in comes Kevin Patrick. He interviews him, and then Miz is like, I'm not telling y'all what happened. It's none of your business. He's not talking about it. And that was that. So from there, we go to in the ring, Alexa, Asuka, and Bianca taking on some jobbers. Not sure what this one was about. It just seemed out of place. I'm texting about to give him Marcella's Pulp Fiction. Man, I hope they don't go that dark with it. That'd be crazy. Man, they better not do that to Dexter. That would be wild. If you don't know, check it out. Watch Pulp Fiction. It's a great movie, but the scene, if you don't know what Dave was talking about, is wild. And yeah, I really hope that's not what we're getting out of Dexter and Miz. That's too much. I get that it's a tune-up match, but it was like, why now? Why now? I don't know. It seems like Bianca hasn't really done anything in the past month except for kind of just be right behind Alexa and Asuka. It just seems weird, but I'm looking forward to the 6 women match at Clash. But they obviously beat the jobbers. I don't even think they told us the girls' names, and if they did, I missed it. So I apologize to those ladies. Afterwards, they cut a little promo about the match, hyping it up a little bit. In case you didn't know, now you do know still, and that's what it is. Not a tear. It just seemed, I don't know, unnecessary. If Miz got look out. They didn't show it. She needs a character shit. Yep, she does. But then again, maybe it's just she's caught up in the Alexa and Asuka and all this stuff. I'll wait till her feud with Bayley to reserve final judgment on Bianca now, because the reason for the Becky stuff was to prevent her from going stale. So hopefully that's not what's happening here. But I think too many women involved right now is kind of pushed her down a little bit, and Bayley has completely taken over all the attention in the women's division, which, I mean, it's Bayley, so it's going to happen. After that, we go to, it's the Kurt Angle segment. He comes out, he does a one little line, then he's interrupted by Alpha Academy. I think we all saw this coming. No big deal. It comes down, Chad Gable talks about he's looking for people to join Alpha Academy. He thinks Kurt Angle would be good, and he wants them to join. They give him a jacket. Kurt Angle says no. They get into a shush off. I saw some people. I saw one person, don't know, he says that seems like Vince McMahon book. No, it seems like a Kurt Angle booking thing, because Kurt Angle is a goofy dude who, when the bell rang, would just outwork anybody. He was just phenomenal. And that's kind of like Chad Gable's thing. He's goofy, but once the bell rings, man, the dude he's phenomenal in the ring. So similarities there, obviously, between the two. Let's see, it's the same stuff every time she's out, turning into a rinse and repeat character. She is saying the "you don't even go here" line. It was funny the first like 2 times I heard it, but now I was like, okay, get something new for me. The Alpha Academy segment went on way too long. I would say the segment went on probably a little bit too long. I won't disagree there. The match, I'm glad the match went on a little longer because we saw this match a few times over the past year, and each time it just didn't seem like it had enough. It seemed like they were forcing stuff in to the time constraints. So giving them the match more time to breathe allowed Otis. Otis showed out in this match. I think he was the highlight for me. I got to see some stuff out of Otis that I don't think I've seen so far, so I really appreciated that. Stipulation added this match, though, because obviously Street Profits came down to back up Kurt Angle when Gable tried to stick Otis on Kurt. Big mistake on Gable or Otis because Kurt would have just ran through the man because he's a freaking Olympic gold medalist. Street Profits come out, start the match. Alpha Academy says, okay, under one condition, if we win, Kurt Angle has to join Alpha Academy. I was hoping Alpha Academy won this match just for the simple fact that Kurt Angle would have had to be Chad Gable's lackey. I think it would have been hilarious. Obviously, that's not what happened. Angle with the Academy, though, yes, get them back winning and take a little more serious. Yes, it would have been awesome, honestly. It would have been awesome. Chad Gable, under the tutelage of Kurt Angle, it's not like Chad Gable needs it because he's entertaining and he's phenomenal in the ring. But that just maybe that little something he might be missing with Kurt Angle's tutelage, I think would be phenomenal for Gable. Otis is a very strong dude and very creative. There was the one where he pushed him up, grabbed him, and then I liked some of the stuff I saw from Gable Otis tonight. I really, really enjoyed him. Angle on a pole match. Let's not put Kurt Angle on a pole. His knees couldn't take if he fell down. So match happened, and again, Street Profits win. They teased the ankle lock in there at one point, and then after the match, the Street Profits went over to celebrate with Kurt. They gave him a red Solo cup. He took a sip. He goes, whoa, no, hold on, I'll be back. Comes back, got the milk. They share milk together. That's a segment. It's a feel good moment for Pittsburgh. Kurt Angle's, it's his hometown. I get why he's there. I'm all for these things. It's a hometown thing, not so much for the TV crowd, the hometown crowd. Did it last week with Trish. Again, I wasn't a fan of Trish's last week, but I get it. I understand it. I ain't mad at it. Let's see. But Kurt would help him with extra pointers. Ain't nothing wrong. Exactly. That's why I think it would be really good if they were able to do that. And then eventually lead up to an Angle Gable last match at Mania. I wouldn't be mad at that. I would hate the fact that we took Corbin retiring Angle because that's like the one thing Corbin does have on his resume that's worth a shit. But I wouldn't be mad at a Gable Angle, not only match, but a program that led up to it because they're both extremely entertaining. Gable is low-key, like, underrated in the entertainment aspect of this stuff. Pittsburgh. I'm not even going to bring that up. Corbin's moment. Exactly. Corbin's moment. I don't want to take that away from Baron. I don't know if I can do that. So after that, we go to the segment that had everybody talking tonight. It got real quick up in here. You had Riddle and Rollins. They showed the parking lot angle from earlier in the day. It looked like it was shot. I don't know. I saw people like really question, like, did they really get in a fight in a parking lot? So obviously Triple H knew what he was doing, and it was a great segment to do with that parking lot thing and the fan cam, I guess it would be. They made it seem like a fan was filming it on their side. I don't know. I think it was a great way to extend this, or not extend it, but build this feud up a little bit more, because again, I saw people that were literally convinced because they think that Riddle and Rollins still hate each other in real life. They don't, but so they're like, whoa, this is real. And it's like, it's not, but that's cool. I really dig that they went that far and that people are like going into it. Let's see, Seth and Riddle doing a Darby Brody out in the parking lot. Good stuff. Absolutely. Riddle taking great job there. And they did go on to the point where Seth went wrestle when he first called up. They obviously good now. Yes, absolutely. And that's the thing, is a lot of people still think this is a thing, and it's like, nope. Riddle came up to Seth as a man and said, hey, look, my wife said some stuff. I don't agree with it. I'm sorry for it. And then after that, they shook hands. they're not buddies, but they don't have beef anymore. And if they did, Rollins wouldn't be working a program with him because Rollins flat out refused to after the nonsense that happened. So good on that. So then the interview happened, and Rollins did what Rollins does. He was fantastic. The Riddle, you're starting to see that fiery, no, hey bro, what's happening? I'm happy to be here stuff. It's kind of phasing out for this feud, which is great. This is what I want to see out of Riddle. As David has been pointing out all year, every time I praise Riddle, he's there like he's got to cut off the goofy stuff. Ain't got goofy stuff on this feud at all. Riddle is mad. And the first part, there was really no fire. It was just Rollins being Rollins, and it was fun. But then at the end, Riddle said, well, I got it right here. He says, man, there's only one man in your house, in your marriage, and it's Becky, bro. And you see Seth boil in the eyes. He was like, oh, this mother. Cut to commercial. Come back, and they made it seem like the cameras were off, and Rollins hit him with a, well, you want to talk about my family? Okay, well, let's talk about family. Let's talk about your wife that left you and took your kids and left you. And, bro, Riddle snapped. Yep, you've been saying it a lot, man. You've stuck by it, and I'm not even disagreeing with you. I would like him to be able to teeter, be the fun Riddle, so you can sell the merch, because that's what it's about. You know what I'm talking about, David. You know what I'm talking about. It's about merch. You got to sell. You got to appease to the younger crowd, but then snap when it needed, because that's what we want. We want him to be able to be taken seriously when he needs to. You want him to be fun when he doesn't have to be taken seriously. That's great character work, and that's what I want to see. Congrats to Riddle on finding his first name. Yeah, we got Matt Riddle back, and we got Austin Theory back. Awesome. Riddle's 36. Riddle's going to be here a long time. He is going to be here a long time. 36 is the new prime, man. It really is. You see these dudes, they are the real like, he could realistically be a main event dude for the next, 5 years. Like, these dudes their careers are much longer these days than they were back then. They're taking better care of themselves, and they're not having to murder themselves working 6 nights a week. So he's going to be, I firmly believe that. Riddle's in incredible shape, and he started late in his career. So, yeah, I see him being there a long time. But, yeah, shit got real in this segment, and people loved it. People loved it 100%. I'm surprised they haven't made this a street fight yet. I happen to think that at some point this week they got to announce it. This turned into a street fight. You can't have these two going into a straight match after what we saw tonight. They swinging on sight. They're out for blood. Riddle wants to murder Seth at this point. Good stuff. I was already sold in the match, and now I'm like, I really want to see this match. We have 3 at Clash that I'm like, okay, I'm dying to see it happen. It takes longer to get perfected to that main event. Yeah, it does. It does. But again, Riddle, being the athlete that he is and being phenomenal through everything he does, he jumped over some people. So after that, we go to where we at? Lashley versus The Miz. Got a match. So at one point, Miz was backstage with Ciampa. I might have not wrote it down. I was involved with some stuff. But anyway, there was a segment where Adam Pearce came up to Miz and Ciampa, and he's like, you didn't press charges. What happened? We can offer you counseling. We can do this for you. We can do that for you. And then Miz is like, I'm not talking about it. I don't need counseling. Blah, blah, blah. All this. And then, so Miz is just shook. He's not the cocky, confident, arrogant dude that he always, he's shooketh. He's like, I don't want to talk about it, but just leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it. Yes, you can say Matt again. It's good. It's good. It's good that we can call him Matt Riddle again. So we get this match, and Ciampa, there was a part where Lashley had Miz on the outside, fireman carrying. He was going to do the turnbuckle thing, and Ciampa jumped on it, bear hugged it, so he couldn't do it. Funny as hell. It was funny just watching Ciampa hug it so that he couldn't get hit with it. And then Ciampa got involved a few times. Miz got the upper hand. He went for the skull crushing finale towards the end. This match was nothing special. It sucks that Lashley was like the second thought of this match, but they're telling the Dexter Miz story, so I'm not completely mad. And Lashley has been on a roll the past month with his matches. Bang. As Sheamus was saying, banger after banger after banger after banger. So tonight, he could take a break. They show up in the crowd. Miz is like, there he is. And he looks, and they show Dexter that he's up there, and he's watching Miz, and then he's like, go get him, Ciampa, go get him. He's up there. And then Ciampa looks up. He goes, what are you talking about? They go back up, and there's no Dexter anymore. So the same thing with the thing in the hall. Miz saw him, nobody else saw him. And it's driving Miz crazy. And then while this is happening, Lashley puts him in the hurt lock. Miz taps, ended the match. Oh, Roger Strong, NXT canceled. Yeah, that was, I forgot all about that. That was funny as hell. They put him in the trunk and he got out running like a crazy man. That was hilarious. Yeah, see, it was fine and progressive story. Absolutely agree with that statement 100%. I ain't mad at it at all. Because the Miz Dexter thing, at first I was like, where are they going with it? But now I'm like, I don't even care because it's entertaining. I'm enjoying every second of it. And I like that it's throughout the night and not just like one segment. Then I gotta wait till next week. You're giving me stuff to like keep me like, okay. It's getting a little better. Love it. After that, we go to backstage. Kurt Angle's in the locker room. You got Ray and Dom in the back, and then Edge comes up, and it's a callback to a segment from back in the day. Edge says, you're in Pittsburgh. I'm happy you're here. I bought you some presents. And then Kurt's like, I'm not falling for this again. Hands him a photo. He looks at the back. There's no thing. He goes, no, I'm not doing that to you again. And then he goes, oh, okay. So he starts looking at the pictures. And then the second picture has the stuff on the back. The last one says, you still suck. And Kurt's like, oh, thanks, man. And they have a little feel-good moment. Happy. He turns around, starts talking to Ray and Dom. Turns the picture around. He notices it has the words on it. He goes, oh, I don't remember what he said, but holy shit, it was hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious. You have to watch the segment yourself to find out. It was absolutely hilarious. There we go. With the cute moment with Edge and Kurt and the signs. It was absolutely, it was gold. There was a lot of hilarious stuff tonight on the show, which is great because everyone was worried, like, it's just wrestling. Where'd the entertainment go? Relax yourselves. The entertainment was here tonight. It was great. They stole Rick Steiner. We came back all over the place. Bro, Triple H don't play around with the NXT stuff. Everybody kidnapped. The parking lot's a very dangerous spot, as we saw with Seth and Riddle. That happened too. Triple H don't play around. There's just complete chaos and hectic stuff all over the place. Dex has the effect of scaring people, so Miz shook. I'm for this. Yeah, and Miz is a great person to put in this because he's fantastic in these spots. Like, I don't think there's anybody better to do this with, to bring Dexter in. I think it was a great call. So after the Edge stuff, he leaves. Edge left, and then Kurt, he saw it with Ray and Dom. Then he ends up leaving after the freaking ridiculous line that he said. It was so funny. Then Ray and Dom start talking. They announced that it's going to be Ray and Edge taking on Judgment Day at Clash of the Castle. Dom is disappointed. He goes, yo, I thought this was going to be a family thing. And Ray says, it is a family thing. I want you at ringside, but I needed the experience to take on Judgment Day because they're serious. And Dom's like, I get it. I'll be there for you and for Edge. Dom Turner in the Clash of the Castle. I know I've said this millions of times before, and this is like the one thing I've been wrong about so many times. Is having the Clash of the Castle 100%. There's no way he gives the kendo stick to Rhea when he should have been beaten her with it, and then gets left out by his daddy because he feels like he's being pushed away because Edge is there, and it's happened to Clash of the Castle. We'll see what happens. Is it going to be Rhea's little boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever you want to call it? We'll see, but it's happened to Clash of the Castle. Dex has the effect of stuff. And then Tiny B renting Pulp Fiction. He loves Pulp Fiction. It's a great movie. We're fixated on the one scene, but the movie in general is a fantastic movie. So I ain't mad that you should rent it. You should watch it. It's a good movie. And he knows because he loves it. So after that, we go to the Usos backstage. And when I say Usos, I'm not talking about Jimmy and Jay. We talk about the honorary Us too, because he's right there with them, and they having a great time. I'm talking about Sami Zayn. Doing the recap, I don't know how long I've been doing the recap at this point. I've never really been able to talk about Sami Zayn. Guess what? Sami Zayn is on the show tonight, and I get to talk about Sami Zayn. Everything is right in the world. I'm so happy and excited for it. Dom's turn will have man, you being crazy with it. Sami. Yes, Sami freaking Zayn. Go to commercial, come back. They come out. They come out together. You got Sami dancing with him. He's having the best time of his life. The Usos, they go down. They start cutting a little promo. Then Kevin Owens comes out. And this is where the Sami Zayn story went from phenomenal to phenomenal. And in capital letters, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, infinite, because you're adding Kevin Owens to the whole mix, and it's mind blowing here. I'm loving it. David here knows Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn is must see TV. Sammy hearing some hard truths from his friend, and Kevin never forgets. Great segment. Yay, Sammy with perfect emotions on his face. Absolutely, Sammy doing what he does. So Kevin comes out and he's literally not pleading, but he's trying to convince Sammy that he's being played. He goes, man, you are literally one of the best performers in the world. They're playing you. You need to get out of it. I'm telling you this as your friend, and not even just your friend. You're like a brother to me. You need to stop. Uso's like, get your boy. And Sammy's like, let Kevin, I'm trying to keep the peace here. Roman don't owe you anything. And then that's when Jay jumps in and says, you take your butt back up the ramp before we do to you like we did Drew. Kevin Owens, he don't give a damn what y'all did to Drew. This is Kevin freaking Owens, prize fighting. He about to bust some asses. So he looks back, he goes, and he gets to the ring and he says, I don't care. Obviously. Sammy says, he tries to plead with him one more time. Kevin says, hey, Jay, I think this is the part where we drop the mic, we get a ref out here, and we fight. He drops the mic, ref comes running out, commercial break, come back. It's time for Kevin Owens versus Jey Uso impromptu match with Sami Zayn and Jimmy Uso at ringside. The story here is just layer on top of layer on top of layer on top of layer, and I've run out of screen, but the layers keep going. Owens Uso match, excellent ending. This is the match of the night. This is the segment of the night, and it's going to be hard for you to top this as far as I'm concerned, because of I'm invested 100%. The characters are doing a fantastic job. The story is, I think it's a pretty simple story, but because the characters are doing such a fantastic job, that the story is just so fascinating. When Kevin and Sammy grab the black belt, Sammy takes the mic to the camera. Now you can acknowledge me staring at the camera. That's what I'm talking about right there. Now you got it wrong. Jimmy's cool with me. Jay, we're working. Yes, I had to touch on this part. You're right. I got to touch on this. So he's like, no, we're cool. And then he does the thing with Jimmy. He does the little handshake. And then he goes, see? And then he goes over to Jay. And he's like, we're working on it. Because Jay don't even look at him. He's just mean mugging Kevin the whole time. Match starts. Great match. Fantastic match. Samoan drop on the steel steps and outside. That one hurt. Of course, it was on Kevin Owens because he always gets dropped on things. He goes for the power bomb on the apron. They come and stop him. At one point, towards the end of the match, Jay got the upper hand. Jimmy then starts directing traffic. Jay, Jimmy, and Sammy, they all congregate. Like, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to distract Sammy. You get the chair. Jay, he's going to hold Kevin. So Jimmy goes over, distracts the ref. Sammy's like, what chair? What chair? And he reluctantly goes over, gets the chair, comes over. Jay's holding Kevin down. He's like, hit him, Moose, hit him. And Sammy's like, I can't. He can't. He's hesitating. Ref turns around. Sammy drops the chair. He goes, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not going to use the chair. Uso's mad as hell now while this is happening. Boom, turn around. Kevin Owens stunner. That's right, not Stone Cold stunner. The Kevin Owens stunner. 1, 2, 3. Sammy slides in at the last minute to be like, oh, I'm trying to help. Kevin Owens leaves. Shit just got more interesting. I'm very curious because SmackDown was taped if they were aware of how the story on Raw was going to play out and how it's going to affect the SmackDown celebration in which they're celebrating Roman's 2-year anniversary. I hope that they did plan that and that we get to see some more of that dynamic played out after Raw into the celebration. It will be great because Sami Zayn is the master of ceremonies, as he should be. He is amazing. It is a pretty layered story upcoming in a couple of days, too. Wrestling fans be blessed. Grab the chairables. And then now I want the character Sami to see the KO light. I need KO to show up at the celebration. I don't think that's going to happen, but we shall see. Now, what I've noticed here is I wrote an article a while ago, WrestleBuddy, in which I think Sami and Kevin Owens should, at some point, main event WrestleMania for a world title. The feud is the best feud of the last 25 years. It's lasted so long. It's the best ongoing feud the past 25 years, 100%. The one thing it's missing is that marquee match, that big time feud on WWE. They've had their little feuds. I want the big one. we're looking at the timetable here. Kevin and Sami take the tag titles. I'm getting ahead of myself. I can't help myself. I'm very excited about this whole storyline. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn win the tag titles from the Usos. We're 8 months away from WrestleMania. This is fantasy booking, and I'm being a fanboy. I don't care. In that 8 months, you have the perfect time to win the tag titles, have one of them split from each other, turn on each other, lose the tag titles, feud going into Mania, something happens. We have the time for it to do that. He says that would be at least a year and a half out for the world title, but it should happen. I think it could happen sooner. I really do think it could happen sooner. I'm getting ahead of myself. I know that. I'm probably setting myself up for disappointment. I'm not going to be disappointed because I love them. They're great. But yes, it is possible. In 8 months, you could tell that story, especially with Sami and KO. But enough of that. On to the rest of the show because I'm getting ahead of myself, as I said multiple times already. Damage Control, backstage promo, talking about they're going to win the tag titles. Then they're going to beat Asuka, Alexa, and Bianca at Clash of the Castle. That's it. Very simple, very effective, not taking up too much time. I dig it. Then it goes back to the parking lot. Parking lot's the hot spot for Triple H. Miz is leaving. And Ciampa's like, are you okay? You good? You good? He goes, I'm fine. Leave me alone. He goes to get in the car. Kevin Patrick comes up. I finally learned this dude's name after like months and months. He's like, yo, Miz, we're going to talk. He goes, I'm not talking about it. He goes, he tries to say something else. Miz, he ain't hearing it. He gets in the car, goes to leave away. As he's leaving, they show the very back. It's 3-row seating. And then Dexter just looking out the window from the third seating. It's like, this man is everywhere. He is all up in Miz's business. It's funny as shit. We'll see. Well, it depends. The draft, I think, is what is going to affect this. So when we get the draft, I've heard in September. I've heard after Mania. So wherever the draft takes place, I think we can figure out what's going to happen from there. They need a big match, funny match of the century for Sami and KO. I don't even want to be funny. I want to be dead ass serious. I want them to have one of their brutal. I want it to be like brutal, like absolutely brutal. I want it to be like callback to what they were doing to each other back in the day before they came to NXT. That's what I want to see out of them. Their last like curtain call for their feud. Just do it that way and have it at Mania. That's what needs to happen. Parking lots are literally dangerous. Yes, Triple H takes that to like heart. To heart. Sami got to go on the Sami NXT. Yeah, I want to see. Sami is about to be on one of the best babyface runs we've seen in so long. I'm so excited. We'll talk about Sami KO, so I need to go on with the rest of the show. So yes, Dex Lewis is in the back of Kevin Owens. I'm talking about Kevin Owens on the brain now. Look what y'all did. Miz is leaving and Dexter's in his car. So that is going to continue. That's, I think, 4 times Miz was just Miz is all Dexter's all up in his head. It's hilarious. Come back, Johnny Gargano. It's a pre-taped segment from earlier in the day. He's talking about how he's excited to be back. He's excited to be back in front of people. He's not mad at Austin Theory. He's proud of him. As it's happening, here comes Austin Theory down the walkway. He goes, no, chill. You're the one that kicked me. Sit down. I'm not here for no harm. Before we get to this, I absolutely love what I am seeing from Theory. Austin Theory. I can call him Austin Theory again. Thank goodness. Thank you. Austin Theory has done the past 2 weeks with his promo segment, whatever you want to call him. Last week, we saw him go from the way boyish goofball to arrogant, cocky heel, back and forth on it as he's going with Johnny Gargano. And now this week, we got serious, like, you better watch out, Johnny Gargano, because this man means business, Austin Theory. Just the bounce from boom to boom to boom to boom is it's so good. The way they're using Dexter's pure gold. It's absolutely gold. I love it 100%. They've used Dexter quite well so far, yes. And I was very reserved at first. Like, where are they going to go with this? But it's working. I love it. Gargano, what the way told you this range of motion. Yeah, you did. You tell me. And if you don't know what Tidy's talking about here, you should check out Drip King of Wrestling, the Positively Awesome Wrestling podcast, episode 2. It is on the Drip King Wrestling YouTube channel. Check it out. We talk about the range of emotion, or the range that Austin Theory had in his segment last week with Johnny Gargano. Back to this week though, and Austin Theory, he just basically said, "Hey, Johnny's like, why didn't you call me when the baby was born?" He goes, "Well, hold on there, Johnny. Why didn't you call me when I won the United States Championship? Why didn't you call me when I became the youngest ever Money in the Bank briefcase holder? And then Johnny's like, yo, I got a baby. He goes, this sounds to me like you got a bunch of excuses. It also sounds to me like you might just be a tad bit jealous because Austin Theory is literally accomplishing all the things that Johnny Gargano talked about last week that he wants to accomplish. This is good storytelling. I'm a little bit disappointed we're not going to get it at Clash of the Castle, but Johnny just came back. He's probably a little rusty. They don't want to rush him back in. I get it. But, man, I cannot wait for these two to finally get in the ring and go at each other. The program just in the past 2 weeks, I'm sold on. It's just so good. And it's not Johnny Gargano doing it for me. It's Austin Theory. His range is just, where did this come from? He's not the goofball anymore. He's literally selling me on a story, and it's great. It's the people who doubted him. I'm looking at somebody in this chat right now. He's ready. He's ready. Whether the maturity is there when he wins the title and he has all the, we don't know. We won't know until it happens. But as far as he can go in the ring, he can carry a segment. His mic work, like, it's great. It's great. Like, he can literally do everything at this point. The time is now. It's not going to happen, but if it did, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't. I wouldn't be hated. I'd like it. I'd welcome it. I want to see it. Damn, Austin's. I'm his face. I missed this part. Jimmy so bad here. It was really, really good. He was not the goofball. He was not the arrogant. He was literally like, you want to try me, Johnny? Okay, you're in the big leagues now. The Sharks. He said something about Sharks. I couldn't catch that part. I liked all the other lines. I didn't catch this one. So, and now it is time for the main event. Here's what I'll say about this main event, because it is time for the main event. The women's tag title tournament finale. It is here. Dakota and Io taking on Raquel and Aaliyah. I'm going to start this off by saying Aaliyah in a main event. Why? Why? I got these comments over here. Let me see if I can find them real quick because, man, I hate to rag on her. I do. She's trying, but she has not gotten better ever. David said she cannot wrestle. She is not very good, and I have to agree. She is not. And I feel like I'm allowed to be a little harder on her because of the fact that she's been there for so long and she has not gotten better. And yes, he is. He has all the tools and will be. Not everything has to happen. It doesn't. But if he's in position to do it now, don't take it away from him and send him back down. It's not being forced, honestly, at this point. Triple H is working with what he has, and Austin is not. He's literally being put in positions to see, hey, can you succeed or will you fail? And he's succeeding in every position he's being put in. It doesn't have to happen yesterday, but it is happening, and it's working. It's not like the Omos project where like they're putting me in positions and he's like not doing it. Like Theory is doing it. He's there. Yes, I agree. It was rough. So the match happens. Midway through the match, Bayley's getting involved. So then out comes Alexa, Asuka, and Bianca to chase Bayley off. As this is happening, I don't even know. But Aaliyah tags herself in. They don't catch it. Dakota hits Raquel with a move. Dakota is the legal person. She's all like, yeah, we did it. And then out of nowhere, Aaliyah rolls her up. And you're about to hear this right. 1, 2, 3. Aaliyah and Raquel are your tag team champions and the winners of this tag tournament. The girls who were not even supposed to be anymore because they didn't show up to a show because of vaccination status. 1. They're your tag team champions. Alexa, Asuka, Bianca come out to celebrate her. Bayley, Io, and Dakota are beside themselves. Fireworks are going off. Big thing for. I'm all for Raquel. I don't hate Raquel, but Raquel and Aaliyah. They're rolling out this red carpet for Raquel and Aaliyah. I feel bad for Raquel. Do you think? No. Sorry. I'm going to be harsh on her just because she has not gotten better. Worst match on Raw, full of botches. It was the worst match. It's probably the worst match they've had since the Triple H thing started a little over a month ago. At this point, I think they're going to be fodder for Naomi and Sasha when they get back. And yes, I would like to call somebody out who said that Sasha and Naomi were going to be back tonight if time permitted. I guess WWE just didn't have time for Sasha to return tonight. Sorry, Sasha. Kind of fucking nonsense was that? You can't purport stupid stuff like that. I'm sorry. That bothered me when I saw that earlier, and I had to touch on it real quick. Let's see. It can't. Come on, get up here. Clicker. Here we go. It can't go on too long. Aaliyah, she has like a month to prove something. I hope bro. She's had like 5 years to prove something, and she just hasn't. Like this is a mind blowing thing. I'm not happy they won it. I don't get it, but I also get why they probably did it. It was very obvious that everyone's like Dakota and Io are going to win it now. So they were just trying to pull a switcheroo on people. I get why they did it, but holy, yes, he is. I'm not going to put the comment, but yes, he is an absolute. I don't, Dave. I don't believe what he does. I usually just scan over. I hate that I even see his stuff, but man, that one was like. That is the dumbest thing he's ever said, is that if they have the time, they'll allow Sasha to debut tonight. Like, shit. Shut up. This isn't Dana Brooke coming back, bro. It's Sasha Banks. This is so dumb. I'm going off rail, though. But yeah, she's had plenty of time to prove stuff, and she hasn't. So, Braun and Timmy were a better tag team. They were. And I'm not even a big fan of Braun. I hope he don't come back either, which is another rumor going on. I just don't want to see him back. I think he's done. He's done in WWE. He can go off and do whatever he wants. All the best to him. I don't have nothing personal against him. He's done in WWE, so I don't want to see him. But yeah, this coming right here, they're fodder for Sasha and probably they're gonna just run through Aaliyah and pin her in like 5 seconds, and then then Sasha and Naomi their tag titles back. So the show, I really enjoyed the show. The main event was questionable. I'm kind of mind blown a little bit because they had to work their way back in again because they couldn't show up to a show. So what happens to tag champs? They got to go somewhere else where they're not allowed to go because of a certain somebody not doing a certain something. You just don't. It seems really silly. I don't see them being tag champs long though. So and don't bring Bomb. Yeah, don't bring them back. There's no need for them. There's literally no need for them. So, yeah, that's the show. Watch it up to the main event, honestly. There's a lot of entertaining stuff. We got a great match out of Kevin Owens and Uso. The opening tag match was decent. We got a very, very, very real and raw segment on Raw between Riddle and Rollins. The Miz stuff with Dexter was great. Like, good stuff. Good stuff. Watch all of it. Here you go. Like you said, 2 hours and 45 minutes of a really good show. 15 minutes of shit. Don't throw the baby out the bathwater. Ziggler's there to make people look good, and he's doing a damn good job of it. So that's what I'll say about Ziggler. I like Ziggler, but that's what he is now, and he's doing a great job of it. Can't wait to see Riddle Rollins. Bro, it gets real. It gets so real. It's like Riddle didn't know he was gonna say it, and then he was like, "Yo, I'm on." They bleeping it out. They had to power like, "Hey, we're sorry." The realness they're added to the show is so welcoming. It's good. It's so good. He went awful on live TV. He did. So yeah, that's the show. Thank you for joining me. As always, I appreciate the comments, talking to me. I always appreciate it, guys. Much love to everybody. To everybody, thank you very much. We got some stuff coming out this week. I'll be back for the Dynamite recap on Dynamite Wednesday night. I'm flustered here because we're talking about Dynamite. Please don't give me another show like last week. Please don't. Before that, I will be on regularly scheduled hostilities as I reply to the CM Punk debate. And yes, it will be a massacre. And then we'll go into the Clash of the Castle predictions, in which I'm in a championship contenders match. Yes, they still do those on ringside regularly scheduled hostilities, in which I will give my predictions and win, because that's what I do. All I do is win, can't get enough. But before that, we were doing a Wrestle Buddy Clash of the Castle prediction show earlier in the day. So I'm like, boom, I'm everywhere Wednesday. If you enjoy watching me, Wednesday's the day. You will see me everywhere. And then on Thursday, we're doing the All Out prediction show. I believe we're doing the Worlds Collide prediction show. If there is one, I'm not sure. As someone pointed out to me earlier tonight, I believe it was ringside, the regular scheduled hostilities. There's only 2 matches so far at Worlds Collide, so that'll be a very short prediction show. And then we'll have watch-alongs this weekend. The Wrestle Buddy website will have up-to-date with the shows. If you can't watch it live, but you want to know what's happening, just keep up with the website. We'll have you up to date on that. And then I don't think we'll be doing a podcast this weekend because we have so many things going on. So, but we have plenty of other content for you. So check that out. We also have, I think we have another show. I'm drawing a blank right now. So just go to the Wrestle Buddy YouTube channel and check out our stuff, the latest stuff. I believe we have another. I can't remember right now. Sorry, Invisible Hand. I'm trying my best here. But yeah, lot of stuff, lot of stuff. And as always, go check out the Drip King of Wrestling YouTube show. We just dropped the second episode of Positively Awesome Wrestling with myself and Tidy. Jimmy, you have to take. I'm taking him down. This is as simple as that. You're talking about my GOAT, CM Punk. I'm not taking that shit lightly. So that's the show. I'm rambling. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you all on Wednesday on at least one of those shows. I got to see at least one of them. So with that, goodbye, everybody. See you later. There's no outro anymore, so I'm just going to sit here and wave until it goes off.